Very good day, everybody. Welcome to another video. I'm your personal funky sim pilot. My name is Arkady Gidzenko, and I will be your captain for today's flight. And so today we're going to be doing something I believe we did, I don't know, maybe like a year ago or whatever, maybe a little bit longer. Who really keeps track? But we're going to be flying to out of Nepal, out of actually the airport in Kathmandu, Tribhuvan International Airport, and we'll be flying a short little hop to Lukla, or the Tenzing-Hillary Airport, also known as Lukla Airport most commonly, to drop off well, whatever, or pick something up, I don't know. And we'll just return then back to Kathmandu. And we are using clear skies today. We're not using real world weather, because at the moment it would be a little bit too dark in Kathmandu, and or actually in Lukla, which would be the biggest problem. But we did choose the end of the afternoon. Oh, let's find the sun right there. There you go. So the sun is about to set, so hopefully by the time we get to Lukla, we'll have some nice shadows over the mountains, casting beautiful lights. Some of the mountain tops might be illuminated, some of the others might already be in the shadows, you know what I mean. So hopefully it's going to give us some nice visuals, and it's just going to be a fun experience. We'll be using the Black Squares TBM 850 today, which you can see right here. It is for purchase on the Just Flight website. They're the ones distributing it, and it's a really cool aircraft. I must say I've not really well mastered it quite yet, but hey, it's all for fun, you know. Let's just go have ourselves a little bit of adventure. So well, I see there's already some fans there, the paparazzi. I see you, man. I see you. That's okay. Alright, so let's just hop on in. Let me just quickly check the sound here. One moment, please. Okay, well, so far it seems good. Alright, so we're inside. It's a really nice looking airplane. Lots of detail, but everything almost works. I believe there's like one little mistake in the, I don't know, it's probably me, but it looks like there's something that appears to be sort of a mistake in the checklist. But other than that, the checklist actually is really extensive. So let's just start with the pre-flight. And I think we should just get going as quickly as we can, because, you know, it will probably be getting dark. Okay, so the crash lever should go in the opposition. That's this one. If you go up, please, thank you. The source selector off, and then the generator selector goes to main. Starter is in the off position. Ignition auto or off. At the moment it is off, so we're just going to leave it at that. Exterior lights, they should be all off. Look, it's these little buttons right there. All the gyro instruments should be off as well. The emergency lights, we can test the emergency lights. Looks like they're illuminating. So for now we do not need them at all. So the circuit breakers should be all in. Let's have a look here. You can see when they're out, they have this little red thingy. So it's actually fairly easy to spot, you know, from any kind of angle. So, but you know, they're all in. So we're happy about that. So we can just check it. The icing switch is all off. Let's get this yoke out of the way for a second. All the de-icing switches are in the off position. Landing gear control should be down. So the landing gear is displaying this down. The autopilot trim master should be off. It's this sucker right there. Radio master should be off as well. Bleeder should be off. Bleeder that is in the off position too. Air conditioning should be off. That is off as well. The dump switch should be guarded. Well, that looks pretty guarded to me. You know, good luck getting your little fingers in there. The ram air handle should be pushed in. What is the ram air handle again? I forget. There's the ram air handle. Look, are you hiding, my friend? What's this little handle right there? That's pushed in. Okay, so leave it at that then. Auto fuel selector should go to manual. I believe auto fuel selector is right here. That is on manual right now. Auxiliary boost pump should be off at the moment. So we have that in the off position. Tank selector left or right. So well, it is now sitting on the left one. Let's just go continue. LT should be armed. That's in the arm position. Parking brake set. I believe we could already see that over here. Parking brake is set. Manual override lever should be off. Power lever to flight idle. And the propeller lever goes to max RPM. Our little trusty blue friend there. It is going to be smurfed to the max RPM position. Condition lever should be on cutoff. We got check. Flap control. Flap should be up. Flaps are up. Battery bus power. Check supplies. I believe this was a little. If you check this, you will see this little access button here, and I have no clue what this will do. It's sitting in a little internal lights section of the aircraft. I really have no clue what this does, so we're just going to check this. Source selector should go now to battery or GPU, so let's go the overhead, the source selectors. So battery or GPU, we're just going to be using battery power. The aircraft is now starting to come alive. Voltmeter should be above 25 volts. It is sort of 25 volts there, I'm good. Exterior lights panel, light test, so there's a little testing button right here and you can see if it's all working. It is. Fuel gauges, check the quantity of our fuel. It's never a bad idea. So looks like we have sufficient fuel. I really don't know how much fuel actually we're going to be consuming on this flight, but you will make at that. Advisory panel check 1 and 2. I believe this is testing 1 and testing 2. See probably if the bulbs are working. The oxygen annunciator should be extinguished. Where do we see oxygen? Right there, that is extinguished. Okay. Interior lights is required. Do we need any? Yeah, actually, I believe it would be nice to have some instrument lights. And maybe also a little bit of panel lights as well. By the time I get started, we'll leave on the instrument lights, and we might probably reduce the panel or something. Check, so environmental panel light test. Let's check here. Environmental control system. Yes, what I believe that should be it. Just check, I'm not being totally crazy here. Flap should be in the down position now. Oh, no, go down please, thank you. So they're down on the left side. I believe I could also hear them go down on the right side as well. So the flaps are now down. Landing gear panel. Check the lights there as well. It's a little bit hard to see because the sun is actually shining right on the red lamp there, but it should be able to see that it's illuminating. I do not believe there's anything we can do other than wait for the sun to come around. So just let's assume this works as well. So we're going to check it. So the Python heat 1, and this is something I sort of keep messing up sometimes. Python heat 1 turn on, and then the Python heat 1 annunciator should be extinguished. This part is obviously not too crazy. And then Python install heat 2, this one, and then the same actually. Check if the light is extinguished. That is extinguished with Python 1, Python 2, they're both off. Stall heater is off as well. Check, so the Python heat can now go off again. Just looks like it's just a little check to see if the annunciators are working correctly. Oh wait, what am I doing here? Do not turn on the windshield, Arkady. Okay. The icing panel, light test. It's this little button. To see if the bulbs not blown or anything, they're still operative. The source selector can now go to the off position. So basically we just used our battery for this little pre-flight check, I guess. Probably we could take it off, we could leave it on, but not really sure. Let's just follow the instructions to the letter, and hopefully we will arrive alive, which is something to be said about that, you know. Pre-flight inspection is completed. Nose baggage door is closed. You can actually open the nose baggage door. Let me show you right here. With these little keys. If you look on the outside, there goes our little nose baggage door. Open. You can put in some baggage. Hey, there's Cynthia. Oh, hey, Cynthia, where did you go? Hey, Cynthia, how are you doing? Always good to have you here, my friend. Okay, so let's just close it now, the baggage door. And there it goes. Wheel chocks removed. I believe there is no real option actually. So, as far as I know, this should just be fine then. So we check it. Oh, we're actually one ahead now. Engine compartment closed, yes. Cabin door access latched. It's basically the same here. You press this little button, and then you can open the door like a little lock. And the same principle applies to the main cabin access door. Close it, and then when you want to, then it locks. So basically, you press it to unlock. Let's see in the back. I believe there's actually a little green thingy showing, as you can see right here. So you press to unlock, and then it turns from green to red, and then you can open it. We're going to, I'm sure actually. Not sure if you can lock it again without opening it. Alright. Cabin access door latched, pilot door latched as well. Parking brake is still set. Let's just have a little visual then while we're at it. Seatbelts and the seat, both the seats and the seatbelts should be fastened. So there's in the plane sometimes you must make sure that your seat is actually in position and it's not loose or anything, just like in the car. Obviously, you can understand when you start accelerating, you do not want to be pushed away from the controls when you're holding the yoke and then you're accelerating your aircraft and your seat is loose and you're just going like this, you know, to the back, and your hands slip off, and you know. So yes, they are fastened, sir. Oxygen pressure check. Let's see, oxygen pressure, that's like that. And then we turn on the oxygen supply. So we can both check them. Passenger oxygen should be in the off position. microphone selector normal. I'm not really sure it was the microphone selector. Or was this again to the left, I believe? I think that's one of the things I forget as well. Where is it hiding? Oh, it's this little thingy, yeah. Okay, so that's actually always okay. Alright, so the starter goals should be in the off position. So let's go back to the overhead. Excuse me for the poor camera angle there. Excuse me. There. So starter should be off, and I believe the starter is already in the off position. Ignition goes to auto or off, so let's put it to auto. Landing gear control should be down. That is still down. Radio muffler on in case of clearance requesting and everything. Yeah, let's just turn it on. And maybe we can enter our flight details, our flight plan, I should say. So hopefully it's going to be I wanted to say successful landing, but in the case of Lukla, probably should say hopefully it's going to be a landing, and not like a slam down on the runway, or you know, or worse, like a stall. You just slam it to the mountain, you know. Okay, so we're using the GTN 750. This is an interesting GPS that I recently purchased. I believe you purchase it for the first year for 20 euros, and then if you want to extend for life, you purchase it for 30 euros. You can also like purchase it once for 50 euros, and then it's for life as well. So I believe you just end up paying the same. So yeah, there you go. And this is actually very good. And I must say, not really sure, but if you use the GNS 530, for instance, the autopilot does not really seem to work. Maybe it has something to do with the working title, GNS 530, or maybe, but I'm not really sure. I read something, but with this it works, so I'm happy. So we'll get to see this now. So flight plan, we're at Kathmandu. So destination will be Lukla. Just zoom in a little. What the hell are you doing, man? There you go. Lukla. Enter. And that is it. And maybe let's first load procedure. Departure. We will be flying out of runway. Can I select? Cannot select departure of the runway. I believe it is. Let's see here. I believe the Igris 1 Alpha. It's out of runway 20. There you go. Transition via Kempty. And we loaded it. So we have the departure route loaded now. Standard instrument departure for Kathmandu. And then we just add one waypoint. That will be Victor November Papa Lima, the Faplu airport. It's just so that we're flying basically one more waypoint, if you will. And that should be it. Let's have a look on the map here. Oops. There you go. So we'll be flying runway 20 to the Kathmandu VOR, right turn. Oh, there you go. And via Igris. And this will take us to Kempty, and from Kempty it will take us to what's it called, Fapdoors, and then to Lukla. And from here, from when we arrive here, we should do something visual. Okay, that's let in. While we're at it, I don't think we can use this yet. Okay, so we're just going to leave that for now. Okay, so the source selector, battery or GPU, that is on battery. We are still on battery. No, we should turn on the battery now. There you go. We're on test. Appears to be working too. Door annunciator should be extinguished. So there should be no open doors, and that is confirmed. Fuel gauges, check the quantity again, looks fine. Auto fuel selector, we can now put that to auto. Auto select annunciator should be extinguished. Auto cell, there you go, it's extinguished. Auto fuel selector goes to shift. Basically you shift here. Let's see, what do we do next? Engine instruments, check. Well, there's not very much to check right now, so the next one will be the ITT test. So you press the button and you check if it goes all the way to the max. And that appears to be working. And you also check so you check if the needle is functioning and also check if the annunciator is illuminated. And that's there in the top left, right there, you can see. Oh, that's the wrong button, excuse me. Yeah, so there you go, that works, that's beautiful. ITT needle is functioning as well. Exterior lights, they should go as required. So what we'll be using is, for now, just do the nav lights. And then we can start our engine. There is also a checklist for starting the engine while you're on the ground power unit, but we are now just running on battery, so we use the starting engine battery checklist. So manual override lever should be in the off position. We checked that earlier and it still is. Power lever should be to flight idle. Propeller lever to max RPM. Check. Condition lever is on cutoff. Source selector is battery. That is still on battery. Okay. Auxiliary boost pump goes to the on position. Here the aircraft is starting to pump fuel. Or at least we'll start hearing the pump. Check the light goes on. The aux BP on. And that seems to be working. Fuel pressure should be in the green as well, so if you turn it off, you can see there's no fuel pressure, so we do require the pump at this stage, it looks like. Ignition goes to auto. You'll find it right here. The ignition goes to the auto position, and then you turn on the starter. Now, the starter annunciator should be flashing. The ignition annunciator should be illuminated, and the gas generator, check for 13% maximum, and then the condition lever goes to low idle, just one notch forward. And the ITT starts rising, low 87, 0 at 20 seconds, and 1090 max. So that's the ITT right here. And the starter can go off at 50% NG. So where's the starter? That is here in the overhead. Starter can go off. Oil pressure annunciator is extinguished. Condition lever now goes to high idle. Let's get this baby some power, man. Engine instruments. Auxiliary boost pump goes to auto. Auxiliary boost pump on annunciator is extinguished. So that's the aux BP on, that should be extinguished, that's extinguished. Fuel pressure annunciator extinguished as well. Fuel press. Main gen annunciator extinguished as well. Voltmeter around 28 volts, it's in the green, that's beautiful. And the ammeter should be charging, it's like anything higher than 0. So starting engine on GPU we can skip, so after starting the engine we can turn on all the gyro instruments right here. Gyro suction should be in the green. Oh, look, this just looks so nice. It's like, yeah, look at it, we're ready to go. Okay, so the gyro suction is in the green section there, that's good. Gyro slaving should be on slave. You prop the ice on, and this sometimes gets a little bit funny, but let's see how it goes today. Prop the ice on, check that it's green, and then you turn it off, and then well, just check it while we're at it. Left windshield heat on, check if that is green, and right windshield on, check if that is green, then windshield heat, you can turn those off. Airframe de-ice on, and it says green cycles, and for some reason it doesn't really seem to do anything now. I wonder if there's something to do with the because later on it actually will work, so we could maybe try something that I was wondering. We just put in a little more thrust here. Double check that we're not moving, but no, actually it doesn't. So later on this will work. Why it is not working at the moment, I have no clue. I must be doing something wrong, but I don't know what it is. They do say left windshield heat, right windshield heat, and then they basically, I think they pull them together and say windshield heat off. So it's not like we had some other button. You have ice light, prop the ice, left windshield heat, right windshield heat, and you have the Pyto heater and the inert step. So I'm not really sure. Let's accept it for now. Airframe de-ice. Well, that's off again. Inertial SEP, we can turn that on. Ammeter below plus 50. Oh. Is that the ammeter? Actually, not really sure. Just check here. That looks like it is. Right, so generator selector. Oh. Can go on standby. So that's in the standby position. Voltmeter around 28 still, so that's beautiful. Ammeter 0 or charging. Generator selector. Then goes to main. Flaps can go up now. Let's have a look and see if they work when we do that. It looks fine. Flaps are up. Check. Bleed air goes to auto. Fan flow is required. Let's put the fan flow on auto. Air conditioning, we turn that on. Fan only or on, so this just goes to the on position. Cabin temperature set 20 degrees or so, it's probably nice and cozy. Airflow distributor is required. Not really sure, I believe that is this one, so normal or defog. Let's just leave it on normal for now. Cabin altitude, that's field elevation minus 500 feet, so we are currently altitude is 4,380. So let's put it around 3,900 something. Somewhere around there should probably work. Cabin climb rate, I believe that's this one, arrow up. But doesn't look like you can really see what it's doing, so this is a bit that I do not fully understand yet. Weather radar off, standby. It's actually on, I see now. Let's put it in standby. Radio master is already on. The EFIS master on, I believe that is here in the top EFIS master. And now you have your HSI, or actually your, this will be a primary flight display, I should say. Autopilot trim master on. There you go, check. EFIS HRS source left, it is checked, so that's good. Electric trim test and set. So like the trim, so let's have a look. It appears to be working. Can we also use the mouse wheel? Do it like this. Well, it appears to be working. I guess that should be fine. Alright, so we're almost there, people. Taxi light. Can go to the on position. Inertial SEP annunciator should be illuminated. And that's correct. Parking brake release, and then parking brake should, the other park brake annunciator should be extinguished. So let's have a quick look. That appears to be working as well. And then you check the toe brakes, you basically start rolling. So before we start taxiing to the departure runway, let's have a look. Terrain test. Yeah, so let's just head on over to the runway for now. And get rid of the warning lights here. And actually, before we do anything else, let's set our altitude. Or rather our desired altitude. So let's go for 19,000 feet. So let's see how this is going to work out. The autopilot section is here. It's now currently on altitude hold, so let's climb like 1,000 feet per minute. And what if we do arm now? I'm not really sure yet. So let's leave this off for now. Let's put it on 0. We'll do this once we get airborne. So we have... We're aiming for 19,000 feet. I guess then we should be good to go. The taxi lights are on. Cynthia, thank you very much. We'll be getting out of here. We'll see you later. Let's have a look outside, see the sun. So that is definitely... sun is definitely starting to set. Let me do a quick sound check, stand by. Okay, sound check successful as well. Alright, parking brake released. Let's go for a right turn. I must say I still have to sort of like develop a somewhat more of a natural feel when it comes to the throttle, because you put in some throttle and the aircraft sort of like like shooting forward, and it appears to be like a rather big dead zone or whatever. But it obviously is a turboprop. It's a very powerful engine. But yeah, that's something to get used to. So we were parked very close to the runway. Let's just hold it right here. Well, slightly over. Okay. Parking brake is set and the annunciator light is illuminated. Terrain test. Where is the terrain test? Again, looking. Terrain test.
Sink rate. Don't sink. 500. Pause system test. Okay.
Alright. I never really like it when people tell me not to think, you know? I mean, thinking is what keeps the world a better place, you know what I mean? What do you think? Alright. So, all kidding aside, terrain warning lights. Well, we tested those as well. Power lever at 1900 RPM. I'm not really sure when it's on. Oh wait, that's probably around the 20 there then. So that's what I mean. I've been pushing like for the last 20 seconds, tiny little taps to get the power back a little bit. And it looks like, I don't know, you have to hold it or whatever, and then once it starts going, it's going a lot further. So that's what I mean, it's a little bit of a funny control. Exercise propeller to feather. Prop governor, let's see, the prop governor, hold the test, not really sure what is that again. Okay, so it drops to around 1800 or whatever. And then should go back to 1900 RPM. Okay, power lever to flight idle. Fuel on balance should be less than 15 gallons. That looks to be fine. Auto fuel selector is on the auto position. Actually, this one is on the auto position. Auxiliary boost pump to auto, check. Auto fuel selector shift to the fullest. Actually, not really sure which one is the fullest, so we're just going to leave it. Flaps as required. Let's do a flap 1, if you will, take off, vital heat, go on. The icing as required. Can we see the outside air temperature anywhere? Celsius. Leave them as they are for the moment. Inertial SEP as required. I'm not really sure, I'm just going to keep it. Advisory panel all off, except brake and inert. The like the ignition. Did we miss the ignition? Ignition goes to the off. So yeah, that's confirmed. Engine instruments, they look beautiful. Flight controls free and correct. You have my full thrust ammeter, you have my full thrust. Parking brake release and parking brake annunciator should extinguish. That is what it's doing. Check. Strobe lights then go on. And also turn on the landing lights. It's probably going to be one of the next, because for takeoff, let's have a look here. HSI compass, check. Yeah, let's put that on GPS. Attitude check, altimeter was already set. The altitude selector has also been set at 19,000 feet. Weather radar can then go on. I believe that is not working, but let's just turn it on nonetheless. And turn on landing lights, we already did it right now. Ignition on if heavy precipitation, there is no heavy precipitation at all. Interior lights dim for takeoff. Cabin lights off, parking brake release, parking brake annunciator should extinguish. And then taxi onto the runway. And then the advisory panel all should be off except the ignition and the inertial set. Then power lever goes to 100% torque, and you climb it around, you rotate it around 85 knots. Once there's a positive rate, you gear up, flaps retract, and then once flaps are confirmed up, you go to the 850 mode. So basically there's one more nudge for the flaps up, if you will, and then you turn on the 850 mode. And from there you can actually go to 121.4 percentage of torque. But we will start at 100% torque for the takeoff. And then once we have engaged the 850 mode, we will engage the autopilot and see how it is going to go from there. And then the taxi lights can go off after we engage the 850 mode. We turn off the taxi lights. Landing lights, well, basically as required. And that should be it. And then for the climb, power lever, basically we observe the limits. Cabin altitude should be set to the cruising altitude plus 1,000 feet. So our cruising altitude will be 19,000 feet. So we will set the cabin altitude to 20,000 feet, which is basically doing a little bit like this. If I understand this correctly, not really sure, but probably am. The cabin climb rates 5 to 700 feet per minute. Cabin differential should monitor that. Cabin temperature as desired. Fuel quantity imbalance, we check that. The icing systems as required, and the inertial separator as well. So I think for now we're good to go. So any questions on the takeoff briefing? Let's have one look outside for a bit. Here at Kathmandu International Airport. Beautiful, surrounded by mountains. We have the sun in our backs. So yeah, we should be flying back here, and I expect that once we fly back we will be in the dark, and there's actually a chance that we will be in the dark once we arrive at Lukla. I hope not, because I would hate to well, have to change the lighting settings in the simulator, because obviously it would be the coolest if we do it like this. So at the moment I'm quickly rolling a roll-up cigarette. It is not that this channel is advocating smoking cigarettes as a lifestyle or anything. This is real fucking bad for you, so don't fucking start it, and just do not do it. Alright, so let's let's line up. So the parking brake light is extinguished. So all that is remaining is the inertial step. So it does need a little bit of power to start rolling. But then again, it sort of picks up power real quick as well. We're getting ourselves into position here. So now I was flying this aircraft the other day, as I said earlier, and I was using the GNS 530 instead of the GTN 750 that we're using now. And for some reason the autopilot simply would not work, not even the heading mode, heading bug, nothing was working. The moment I switched to the GTN 750, everything appears to be working like a charm. Let's click the heading button here to sync the heading bug with our current heading. Never a bad idea. Let's do a real quick recap of the takeoff. We will follow the runway heading, and I think we'll be making that, but we'll see what's going to happen. Alright. Parking brake released. Let's power this sucker up. Let's go to Lukla, people. The airspeed's alive. 80 knots. Oh, that's 60. Oops, let's stay on the center line. 80 knots, 85, rotate. Positive rate. Gear up. Let's trim it up a little bit. Flaps up. Need a little bit more trim. Turn on the 850 mode. Turn on the autopilot. And that appears to be working. So far so good. Torque is at around 121%. Maybe reduce a little bit and see if we can get the let's get this warning light out of the way. So for the vertical speed, let's climb at 1000 feet per minute. And now, do we need to arm it, or is it already? Does not look like it's doing it, so let's try arm, and then it shoots up and tries to settle at around 1000. Beautiful sight here, Kathmandu in Nepal. So we probably, I think we overflew the Kathmandu Leewar there. Oh, we actually were already taking the next turn. Okay, so it looks like the autopilot is doing a great job now. It's flying the SID. We have the next intersection as well, so 2.5 nautical miles from the next waypoint, I should say. Look at those mountains, man. There's the city of Kathmandu. The river running through it there. Beautiful. Alright, taxi lights are off. Let's quickly go over the checklist, where you can find it. If we're not missing anything. So, climb, we observe the limits. Basically, that's this. For now, this is still okay. If we look at the speed, we're well under control. I do not really have to check these. Cabin altitude, yeah, so the cabin altitude, well, that's basically already the same. Go around there, something like that. Climb rate 5, yeah, so that's something, I don't know about the climb rate, how to really actually set it. We could maybe monitor. Is it increasing? Differential, not really sure. Let's see if we, I'm just going to skip this. This looks fine for me. So, we are on our way, people. I must say, I really like this type of departure where you, especially, I mean, if you look at the, this whole city is like surrounded by mountains, and you fly on, basically you do one little loop around the airport, basically around the city bowl, and it's good stuff, it looks nice. Let's check our climb rate. We're requesting 1000 feet per minute. It is also doing that, and let's see if that will be enough. We are now going for a right turn, so let's zoom out here a little bit. So we have to take notice of the terrain. Wow, look at that, man. I guess this should be fine. We're not expecting any other traffic. Our current altitude 9,680. Oh, I think we can go ahead and turn off the landing lights. Beautiful effects. The sun is hitting the flight instruments. You can see the build up. There's actually fingerprints. They simulated fingerprints on the glass coverings there of the instruments. It's totally beautiful. Here as well, you can see some dirt. You can see it's been used, and that's really nice to see in a simulation. You know. It sort of adds to the experience of, you know, immersion. So we're still flying, we're still climbing, 1000 feet per minute. I just did a little sound check again. Every now and then I feel the need to check it a little bit to see if it's all okay. The engine is not too loud, or you know, it's nice if there's a good balance. You see this light here, message GPS1. I believe that's an extension of the message that you get to see here in the bottom. Oops, let's go back to map. You will every now and then see a message, and then it means that you're getting the next waypoint, basically. They did something cool with the Bendix weather radar. You can. They actually implemented a little menu of their own, so that you can set. You can refill the oxygen, repair the engine, or reset failures, and do all kinds of stuff. You can have random failures and scheduled, active, reset the default detail settings and everything. So that's. I haven't really checked it out yet. There you go, there's this message that you can see right there. It's blinking, the MSG, and then it coincides with this. Basically, once you open it, arrival at waypoint, and then it's gone already. One other really cool feature of the GTN 750, which is this GPS that we're using, if you click the map, it will change into drag mode. You will see there's a cursor there as well. Map pointer, create waypoint. So you could actually say, I want a waypoint. We could maybe actually try this. So if we zoom in, and so as you can see, let's zoom in a little bit more. Once we arrive, Lukla is here in the valley. Will be coming from a diagonal angle, and we could, for instance, extend from VNPL, for instance, to go here. If we then say create waypoint, it should create a waypoint there. But I do not feel like doing it now. We totally did not set any kind of transponder actually. Let's go for 3214 and let's put it on. Alright, anyway, so it took me a while to figure out. The solution was really simple. I was like, how the hell do I get this cursor out of my when I do not want it? Basically just click the back button and you're good. It just recenters the whole thing. I'm ashamed to let you know that it took me a while to figure that one out for myself. There is also an option to change the radio stack. It's now using the KX155. You can also use the radio stack for the GNS 530. Since it wasn't using the GNS 530 correctly earlier, I must say I'm more than hesitant, though I'm very apprehensive, so I'm not going to do it right now in flight. It's not going to make any difference because we're not using the communications like the radio stack at all anyway. If we need it, we could do it here, but we're not flying online and no ATC and everything, so that's fine. Alright, so it looks like we are well on our way here. We're on our way to Kimti. We're about 20 nautical miles from Kimti. And then let's see if we arrive safely at Lukla. It looks like the sun is still okay like this. I think by the time we arrive at Lukla, the sun will have set a little bit, but we should still have sufficient light. Although it can be tricky because we are obviously will be descending straight into the valley, so we'll be flying in the shadows of the sun. Though we'll see once we get there. So yeah, aircraft appears to be. Let's get the yoke back on. Or rather, let's actually have a look here at the temperature. Well, it looks clear. Not sure if we should be needing any anti-ice. So let's leave it. So let's put the yoke back on. But yeah, so it looks to be operating perfectly. It's a very powerful engine. As you also can tell probably, it's just going wah, like non-stop. Still climbing, we have 2,000 feet to go. Until we reach our cruising altitude of 19,000. And you can see we're climbing 1,000 feet per minute, and the speed is hardly impacted. And we're actually not even at 121.4 percentage either. So could maybe just accelerate. It did say to take notice of the maximum settings and everything while in the climbing phase where we are now. But I did not see anything. There's our warning. We're 1,000 feet from our desired destination. So not really sure. It believes like the torque setting should actually be fine at 21.4 percentage. But this appears to be okay. And let's hope we do not get an engine out, because, well, it's going to be a very unpleasant. Well, we do have an airport there, so would we make that? I'm totally not sure about the range this aircraft has once it's in glide mode, you know. But it's probably not going to be needed. So we're arriving at our cruising altitude. You can see here now, it's switched, the autopilot switched to alt mode, so it means it's holding the altitude now. There you go. So we are at 19,000 feet. So there's not a lot to descend actually once we start our descent, because we will be landing at, well, 9,000 feet or something, 9,800, I believe the runway is something like around there. 9,300, it's still fairly high, above sea level. And yeah, so we'll be losing obviously around 9,000 feet, but that's like peanuts, like 5 minutes or 6 minutes or whatever. So there you can see the mountain tops already in the background. So they're I'm not really sure which one is which. I never come here, so I don't know. About 70 nautical miles from are we at Kimti now? Let's have a look here at the pipeline like this. We're from Kimti to Fablu. I'm not really sure why it's saying 8,100 feet. It looks like that is the altitude of the airport, and that would make sense because 9,300, what I said earlier, is the Lukla elevation. So it's probably just showing us the elevation. We could have a look. Waypoint info. Not sure if they have charts. Nope. Airport info doesn't show anything. Oh, yeah, there you go, that's the elevation. Alright. So yeah, we should, it's not a very long flight. We could start preparing some sort of descent. believe the mountain tops 12,000 feet should still be okay. So let's go ahead and set, let's start with 13,000. You know, we're going for 12,000. And let's descend 700 feet per minute. Now, yeah, that's actually doing it. It's good stuff. And we probably got the power a little bit. And let's expedite our descent. Cut back a little bit on the drop RPM. Beautiful time of day when the sun is setting over the mountains. Okay, so this is going to happen quite quickly. It looks like we're all basically at VNPL, so that means we are 30 nautical miles from the airport, so we should definitely start descending. I'm going to cut the power a little bit more. And let's go to heading mode for a little bit, and we go to 900 to 90. Select heading. I suspect we're going to be going there, or we're going to be going over this hill. So let's zoom in here a little bit. It's always a bit tricky to see here. I'm thinking we should go there. Probably the airport is somewhere around there. So let's disengage the autopilot and start a left turn. So try and watch the descent rate a little bit. Maybe bank a little further though. Let's turn off the flight directives so they won't confuse us. That's 14,800. We are aiming for about 10,000. Let's turn on flap 1. You can see immediately your nose starts going up. So go try and trimming it. We're still fairly high. Thousand. I'm not sure about the gear extension speed. Check real quick. 178, so we can drop the gear. not go too low, 10,000 feet, and let's keep it here. Add a little bit of thrust. Flap 2. We're going to cheat by zooming in a little bit here. There's the runway. We get really close to this mountain here. We're at 9,300, which is actually a little bit too low. And our speed is dropping as well. So let's put in a lot more power. 9,400. Try and keep it here because the runway is at 9,300 something. We can see, I think, somewhat of a challenge. I'm going to retract the flaps for one bit, if it helps us create some more speed. Oh, this is not the greatest approach, man. Flap full. Engine to idle. Oh, it's a very bouncy landing. Oh, that is so embarrassing. Step on the brakes. Well, looks like we sort of arrived at Lukla. If we can take a sharp turn here. Oh, no. Parking brake. I'm not really sure, let's look outside. Look at this. Oh, this is a little bit embarrassing. Well, let's just cheat a little bit and use the pushback function. If that is actually going to work at all. Really, is it then going to bring in the... Okay, help! Lukla ground personnel, please help me, I'm stuck. Well, we barely survived the landing. It was all of a sudden it went really quick, way quicker than I had anticipated. So we'll definitely be repeating this at some later stage on the channel. Because we'll... basically we were too high, and then once we arrived at the Faplu airport, we were basically already on the approach path, if you will. So yeah, so basically we had to descend a little too quick, sort of overshot the runway. Had to take a little bit of a sharp turn to the right, and that all takes away, you know, stability. So is this guy going to push us back? That would be very nice. Yes, we it's fine, just you go up. Poor guy. Let's have a look outside. Looks like we're actually over that thing. Alright, okay. Alright, thanks, man. And that's what I said earlier, you know, like, this is a real challenge to taxi at low speeds, because it's sort of like an on or off setting, you know. I'm not really sure how this works. Let's just go stand in the middle of the box. And again, you know, like, you have to go like so much power at a time. It's going, you're already going too fast, so let's just do wheel stop here. And turn off the engine. Oh, looks like we hit some flaps there. Flaps can go up. So I never did a turnaround in this aircraft, so that's going to be interesting. You actually go out like this. Some aircraft you can, some aircraft you cannot. This aircraft you cannot. Let's see where Lukla. Let's get the external camera. Because after this embarrassing display, I'm getting kind of thirsty. So I'm going to quickly run outside, get something to drink. So I think in the meantime it might be nice to have some moving. I want to say in the meantime it's nice if we have a little, we get a little taste, a little feel of the surroundings. And why is it not doing that again? Is that 6%, right? Then I click it away. And it's not going. And I check. And it should be back to 0. But that doesn't make any sense. Let's do it like this. So welcome to Lukla. Sun's already set behind the mountains there. So, well, we enjoy a little bit of the scenery here at Lukla. I'll be running to the galley and I'll be back within 2 shakes of Lampstead. Alright, so here we are again. So this is definitely one crazy airport, man. But it is absolutely beautiful though. Look, you can see there's the sun still hitting this It's not set for the mountaintops. The sun has set the people here in Lukla. Right, so let's head back to the aircraft and let's start preparing our return to Kathmandu. We need the camera. And we just go cockpit. There we go. So let's close the cabin door. Vacuum low. Alright, so let's wing this. If we go back, flight plan. Is there a way to create a totally new flight plan now? And you delete all waypoints in flight plan. Yes, please. There you go. Set origin. Victor November. Kilo. Enter. And destination will be Victor November Kilo Tango for Kathmandu. There we go. Found it. Enter. And I think we can go straight. We do maybe need a arrival there. So load procedure. We maybe start with the approach. Not appear to have an ILS or anything. RNF to Zulu. Transition. I don't know this transition. No, that doesn't seem to make sense. And the Raton, what does that look like? Actually also doesn't really appear to make a lot of sense. Out a little bit. Is there a way to have no transition? Well, we can always skip a few waypoints. So let's load the approach. And I think that's fine. Let's use this. Alright, so let's start up the engine. As I said earlier, I don't think there's like a checklist for a turnaround or anything. So probably there's some things on that should be off and something off that should be on. So let's just see what's going to happen. Prop RPM goes full. Not sure if this makes any difference. Let's turn auxiliary boost pump to on starting. Looks like the engine is starting up. Yeah, so we're definitely going to be flying here more often, because I would totally love to nail the landing, you know. So let's see, it is not really doing what I would like it to do, I believe. So 13, I think that's actually fine. We put it to low idle. There you go. Let's get this blinking screen out of the way. Yeah, right. And then it should reach around 50 ng. And once it reaches 50 ng, we can go ahead and flip to high idle. And then we can also turn off the ignition on auto. The starter can go off. I think we're alive. Pressure sap, auxiliary boost pump is on. Set to auto. Ignition can go off as well. Looks like we're still running. Yeah, so that was a rather interesting approach. The landing was even worse, very bouncy. I could not really actually not believe this was not detected as a crash though. And I always have my settings to detect crash. You know, for obvious reasons, it's no fun if you can just, you know, land an aircraft upside down related to the Eiffel Tower in Paris, you know what I mean, you know? Yeah, but sometimes some of these aircraft, these pay-aware aircraft, they allow you to do some really weird things. And so I don't know how the, you know, what the physics is behind it, or what maybe the thinking is behind it, or both. Why they, it looks really horrible. I'm not really sure if they mean to say, well, it, you know, it doesn't win any kind of beauty contest, but you got it down safely, you know, nobody died, but, you know, people are like scarred for life, you know, emotionally. Yeah. Alright, so let's get this thing going then. Everything here appears to be okay, I guess. Flap. Yeah, let's go flap 1, why not? Yaw damper, let's leave that off for now. Before we take off, let's go for an altitude 19,000 feet again. We'll climb at 1500. Let's reduce the panel lights a little bit. Or off completely. Okay. Can we take a left turn here? Just push back a little bit. I think, I mean, you know, the turning radius of the aircraft itself is, I think it's probably fine, but I find it really challenging to manage the speed. And the thing is, when you want to do a really sharp turn, forward turn to the left, you want to power, but you do not want to lose any forward distance. You want to go straight to the left. And with this aircraft, it's really, it takes time to start rolling. And so you you know, you will lose some forward distance as well. So this should be fine. Thank you, Brian. Your help is greatly appreciated. So we are on GPS here, so that's good too. Is there a way to dismiss him now, or is he just going to stand there? Oh, there he goes. Right, so let's get out of here. Look at it, man, it's a beautiful sight. Totally beautiful. I think we're good to go. Parking brake released. And let's hope for the best. Full power. Approaching 80 knots. Oh, let's go. Let's check the climb rate because we're still descending. Now we have positive rate. Gear up. Left turn. And fly out of the valley. Flaps can go up. Once the flaps are up, we can engage the 850 mode, but let's first trim the aircraft a little bit. Because at the moment we're fairly unstable and we're not really climbing. It's a challenge to get this thing under control. Such precise maneuvers. It looks like we're flying away. Let's engage the 850 mode. And turn on the autopilot, yaw damper, autopilot, and navigation. And we are on the vertical speed. And let's see if this is a good idea or not. It looks like. Maybe we can increase our rate of climb a little bit. Speed is still okay. It's not too fast, but at least it's holding steady and we're still climbing. Yeah, you can see the aircraft, the autopilot is trying to get to the track that we're supposed to be flying. But we're definitely out climbing those mountains. Oh, look at that. Coming. The sun's coming up right there. That is a pretty sight, man. Well, I do not believe we had the landing lights on. No. Looks like we're sort of clear of the terrain. Speed is now definitely dropping a little bit, so let's also drop the rate of climb. Maybe let's settle at 1400 feet per minute. And we're on our way back to Kathmandu. A beautiful setting sun. Climb at I don't know, 700. Take the heading bug, never a bad idea. We have the wrong runway, so that is no problem. We'll go to the flight plan. That's the wrong runway. So we'll be using RNAV 20. This makes sense via Igris. There you go. So we go Igris. What is this? Including a go around or what? Well, we'll figure it out. We're almost at 19,000. RNF 20. By Igris. It says load, approach and activate. So we'll do that then. Let's have a closer look what this is going to be looking like. Are they... Okay, so we're going to do the same thing as we did departing or what? So we're going to go overhead, make a turn around, and then we'll land. I think that's what we're seeing, right? We wanted, we could maybe skip the whole thing and go to Kilo Tango 421. once we reach Sarma, we go direct Kilo Tango 421. So once we are at Sarma on our way to Romeo 197, we'll basically go all the way down the list. And we select Kilo Tango 421 and then we click direct to. Okay. We are now 26 nautical miles from Igris. It is out of tune a little bit. That's enough of that. There again. Nice to see the golden hour for these people. Well, there's not really people living here, I think, but maybe some raccoons or some snakes. I wonder what kind of life besides maybe ravens and insects you might find. That's pretty cool. Look at the reflection of the sun there. The dirty fingers on the sunscreen. That's pretty, man. Alright, 6 nautical miles from Ingrid. We're getting there. And then next up is Sarma, and then we'll try and cut short, so let's have a look what the... Let's have a look at the airport elevation. (4,300 feet). So it looks like we can safely descend to, let's have a look, well, maybe let's start by 12,000. Bring back the prop RPM, so that we do not overspeed. Torque warning. We're turning now towards what's it called, Sarma. Still on navigation, following GPS, 3.5 nautical miles. It's a little bit tricky to see with the mountains. Probably the airport is already right there. So I think what we'll do is we'll fly the entire approach so that we'll have some time to descend. That's probably a reason actually why the descent path is quite long, taking you around, because obviously it is surrounded by fairly high terrain. So I guess we're finding this out while we're doing it. Looks like civilization to me. Beautiful, man. So let's see, we're descending to 12,000, maybe. Go to 6,000 feet. Let's see if we can go nose down 2,000 feet per minute. We're actually overflying the runway right now. Sun is going. Bye bye, sun. Thank you very much for your energy today. Speed has definitely increased. We're at 230 knots now. Uh, 4,000. We're around 8,000 feet above the surface. So yeah, I think it's a very interesting plane. It's somewhat of a challenge to master for me, but challenges are, you know, they're okay, very nice. Keeps the adventure rate going. Look at the hills there, man, or the mountain tops. Let's not call them hills. I'm sorry, mountains. What did I call you, hills? 10,000 feet, which means we are now at 6,000 feet above the surface. We're still actually performing a really big left turn here. We're on the final part. I think 6,000 feet is okay. Colors are just beautiful, man. There's the first stars appearing. Might be Venus, not really sure. We will be flying around the airport in a big circle. There is some terrain right there. So we are still quite high speed for the approach. And we should mind our altitude here. So let's see what it is going to do. Really, a right turn? What am I missing? Yep, it's no longer following. Well, let's turn off the autopilot then. left turn. We will have to climb a little bit. Now, not really sure what happened there. Why was it all of a sudden not flying the correct leg there? I mean, look at it. It's not necessarily the type of area where you want to do hand flying like this. I'm gonna go one stage of flap. And let's go full prop RPM there. Let's not sink too much. I'm thinking maybe one explanation why the aircraft was deviating towards the right was maybe because of our altitude settings. So obviously I did not check the charts or anything. So probably we were too low, but I'm not really sure. It would be really nice if it would do that. So we're basically now trying to hand fly these legs here, remaining legs. Something that I actually never really do, but you know, as a pilot, you should be capable of doing. Oh, there's the airport right under us. I'm not reading this correctly. Wait. Oh man. What a mess. Alright, okay. So let's just get closer to the ground and try not to reach any mountains anymore. approaching 6,000 feet. Gonna go for flap 2 and gear down. Three green lights, so the gear is down. Looks like the runway's in sight, finally. Speed's a little low. Just trying to stabilize our descent now. I know, it's a guerrilla style landing.
Sink rate. Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink. Sink. 500. Sink rate. Don't sink. 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 Don't sink.
Settle down, please. Something like that, thank you. No brakes. Flaps up. That was definitely a challenging flight altogether. So anyway, welcome back to Kathmandu, everybody. Thank you very much for checking. Watch me struggle. Let me guess, are we just on a taxiway leading up to the runway, or what is it? Let's just stop and look at what we're doing here. As I expected. Well, I don't feel like bothering, so we're just going to stop right here. Let's get rid of the master warning there. Got the power to the engine. the avionics. Because I'm done with this thing. But it was definitely an interesting thing to do. So we're basically sitting at a totally wrong spot here, but it should be fine for now. Let's just open this door and get the hell out of here. There, that's our kill switch. Alright man, that's it for me. Thank you very much for checking. I'm your personal funky sim pilot. My name is Arkady Gidzenko. Thank you very much for checking. And let's do this again real soon. Looks like an interesting challenge. Maybe we'll use some other aircraft. Or maybe we'll attempt to use the same aircraft once more. In any case, thanks again, and see you at the next one. Have a good day. Bye bye.